guys, welcome back to my channel. Another day, another rebirth. I hope you're loving yourself. I hope you're letting love in. I hope you're being the #1 writer and creator in your story and not letting anybody push your pen, you feel me? And with that being said, today I want to discuss sacrifice. When I was younger, I used to think like sacrifice meant something else, like outside, animal sacrifices, sacrificing some material wealth, something that can physically be touched, something not abstract, right? Until one day I was going through something and I just kept having dreams about sacrifice, having to let things go, and I didn't know what it was. I couldn't, at that point, I'm like, what do I have to sacrifice? What do you want me to trade in? What material possession? Because I was down bad. Because I'm like, what do y'all want from me? Until I sat on the mat. Sitting on the mat is literally like going to sit on the mat in front of an elder or two or several and letting them divine over you to see what's Creator God saying about your situation, where your soul at in its journey, what your ancestors have to say, what your deities and spirit guides have to say. And I was so worried that I had to give up so much with feeling like I had so little. Little did I know that mindset was what I had to sacrifice. I remember my godfather saying, your greatest sacrifice right now is character change. Your ancestors are asking that you change your character. And it's not like you're doing anything harmful. It's harmful to you, but not to other people. It's not like you have bad character. You just give too much. You choose not to see yourself. And I had to sacrifice that self-sacrificing behavior. And then I realized that all the time, most of the time, sacrifice is not something external outside of you. You just gotta know what part of your life you're at and what you're looking for. Right now, I'm looking for stability. I'm looking for self-love. I'm looking for peace. And I know there's some things in my character that I have to sacrifice to get to that point. I know that I'm super anxious, and I know sometimes my anxiety can lead to harmful situations and chaos, and I'm trying to do away with chaos. So I know that I have to sacrifice my harmful behavior when it comes to, I guess, interacting with my triggers. I have to let that part of myself go. I have to go and ask God, can I give this to you? Can I sacrifice this to you? Can you tell me what I need to do so I can sacrifice this, so I can change my character? And also connections. Even that's not a material possession, but it's something outside of yourself, but it has to deal with self. You yourself are involved in these connections that you have. And I know that if I want peace, I can't be cooped up, booed up with no good people or no good friends and family members and answering their phone calls. Those cords, I have to sacrifice. I have to cut them, because in this era of my life, I cannot afford to have that. And with sacrifice comes great loss. We grieve old versions of ourselves. We grieve old connections. We give things up. But you have to remember that great things come in place of those things if you're doing the work. Think about it like this. You can't judge your sacrifices or what you think you're supposed to sacrifice based on other people. I know we see a lot of great rag to riches stories when we're on social media and people are like, well, I stayed in my car for so and such and such. I had to sacrifice this. I had to sacrifice my self-care. I had to let go a lot of material possessions to get here. That may not be your story. And your sacrificing thing, you're offering to God and your ancestors may get your tail off social media because you keep judging yourself. You need to sacrifice that part of yourself in order to grow. I just used to think like when sacrifice would be brought up and I would have dreams, it would be something way bigger. We have no idea how many harmful things and behaviors we interact with on a daily basis until it's time to sacrifice. Like I said, you got to know what you want. If you want to focus more, get off that phone, sacrifice that screen time. Cut those harmful like foods out that cause you to have a brain cloud. Go to the gym. Sacrifice that TV time. And stop looking at other people. Because your journey is your journey. You're going to have different taboos than other people, which I mean by taboos is like things that you should not be doing according to your destiny. Like things that prevent you from reaching your destiny. Some people will automatically know their taboos because that stuff won't feel right. You'll just be like, I can't do this no more. I gotta sacrifice that alcohol intake. I can't go clubbing anymore. And some people, they'll have to go get divination to understand what their taboos are. But you really gotta know yourself. Another story, and I had to sacrifice something. I still feel this to this day because I did not want to let that thing go. Those of you who know me, I know a lot of my friends watch this channel. I had dreads several times, locks, dreads, whatever you want to call them. I had them several times because I always loved the idea of them. They're beautiful. Don't require me detangling my hair every single day. So I finally got to that last set of locks that I was just in love with. They were thick, they were luscious. They kind of reminded me of Lauryn Hill back in the day. And then I kept having dreams of me cutting them. And every day I looked in the mirror and I'm like, these gotta go. I'm like, no, they're so pretty. I finally got that set that I want to keep for the rest of my life. I just kept having dreams and dreams. And then they turned into nightmares when like certain like deities that are connected to me and my family lineage would show up. And one day one of them was like, I don't know why you keep prolonging this, you're gonna be happier anyway. So one day I told my roommate, I was like, let's go get what we need, like let's do this. And she was like, you sure? I'm like, girl, I'm sure. Little did we know that day was like one of the most like powerful eclipses of the year and really represented like a new shift, a new change. And I cut them off, and the next day when our friends comes over and she's like, what's different? Like, you're absolutely glowing. And I'm like, hair gone, bald head. And she's like, it looks great on you. I'm like, it feels great. Now to fast forward, those dreads were started by someone that ended up saying some really mean things to me, and I felt like they betrayed me. And at the end of the day, my ancestors, God, Creator, was looking out for me. It's like, you have all, now that you think about it, like dreads, they don't really shed, they trap hair and they trap energy. Being an Afro-Indigenous woman, my hair is very important to me. And when we cut our hair, it represents a loss, it represents grieving, it represents a new start. And I didn't want that. But my ancestors were pushing me into that season of my life. You might not understand why you have to sacrifice some of the things that you're sacrificing in this period. It may not make sense 2 weeks, months, or years later, but you're going to be thankful. You're going to grieve. You're going to hurt. You're going to feel like you're dying and living and dying again. I tell people that I have more lives than a cat. Like, I feel like I've died many times because I have sacrificed so many things. Sacrificed so many relationships. Right now I'm sacrificing a lot of behavior, because I'm just an anxious person, and sometimes that anxiety transmutes to a bad attitude. It transmutes to having different attachment styles and anger and rage, and I gotta let that go if I don't want those kind of connections in my life. Yeah, it's some of the sacrifices can be so small but so deep. Like, some people may be like, hair is not a big thing. To me, it wasn't, because I had been cutting and dreading and cutting and doing different styles, so it wasn't big, but it was. You don't always have to go to the extreme, you know. But the importance of sacrifice is just, what am I trying to say? The importance of sacrifice is having the will to let God do for you the things that you ask for. Ain't nothing free. I'm sorry to say, I'm not a loving light girly. Ain't nothing free. Money is the lowest form of exchange. Money sacrifice. If somebody said, oh, you can have the prayers you want to answer for sacrifices a certain amount of money, gladly, because money is the lowest form of currency in exchange. And people who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about, because when you ask to sacrifice relationships, feelings that are harboring deep inside of you that you were not ready to let go of, and you're still grieving, but God like, okay, you felt this thing for some years now, time to move on. You got to go out to the yard and bury these feelings. That's a lot harder than material possessions. But I believe in you, and I know you can do it, and I know you're a strong person just from you reaching out, trying to find something to help you with this journey in your life, watching my videos, and I greatly appreciate it. Now it's time for you to appreciate your journey and where you're at, and really ask yourself, what are you looking for? What are you looking for in this journey, and how can we get there? Again, I believe in you. I know there's so much on the other side of that thing for you, and I hope you have a great, I'm not going to say week, the rest of this healing journey. I do. I wish you the best.